This mural falls in the context of the broader public art curriculum, which alternates every fall block between a public art mural painting class and a public art site-specific sculpture class. So this is the fourth on-campus mural project we've done over the past 8 to 10 years. So in the context of that, it's yet another example of how students' work engages with the physical campus. And what I enjoy about it is that it takes the arts away from the Sam Hill art facility and brings the visibility of the arts to the other areas of campus.
I'm really stoked that there's a mural being painted for the Natural History Institute. I think we've long been just tucked in this back corner of the college, and I mean, this whole segment of the college north of Sheldon isn't really well thought of as the college, so having that mural there I think will attract a lot of attention to where we are and help people find us, but it's also helps people know at a glance what we're about.
Looking at natural history, the practice of paying attention to the world is kind of the central metaphor of what it is to be a human being in the world, and that we're just trying to foster that sense and deepen that sense. And I guess I would, you know, as a slight aside, say that I believe very strongly that a great many of the human problems that we are aware of in the world, you know, violence, depression, anxiety, various kinds of conflict, that a great many of those, it's not coincidental that those kind of issues have dramatically increased at the same time that human connection with the natural world around them has decreased.
The first week of class, we went on a mural tour of 7 different murals in Prescott. As a class, we critiqued each mural, analyzing the content, design, and aesthetic elements. We discussed what we liked and disliked about each piece. This process gave us ideas about the kinds of design elements we wanted to include in and exclude from our mural.
The collaborative process has definitely been interesting in the process of working with, I guess, a client or a group of people who are also invested in the outcome of the mural. So in this case, the Natural History Institute. So it's been interesting to work with several people from there and have their feedback on how the development of the mural is going in terms of species looking identifiable and having their certain characteristics.
I think it was initially difficult to go from a large amount of concept to narrowing it down where everyone had a consensus.
Sunflowers are almost as hard as saguaros for that same reason of like, they're corny.
Butterflies, I like the word. Okay, can I just say something? Butterflies are like that too, and we made a butterfly there that is not corny.
Yeah,
And I think the same can be done with saguaros and sunflowers.
There was this one night where we met without Julie and we had to design this whole mural, and everyone had a different idea when we were coming into it, so we ended up just basically arguing about this for like 3 hours.
The collaboration process was rough, to say the least.
You know, also it's a collaborative process with, you know, seven other people, and it's been kind of difficult to manage that process.
In terms of the collaborative process that we had in designing before, and then the actual painting process that we had during it, I thought that when we were going through the design, the process seemed a lot more, it just seemed to work a lot better, and it seemed like really solid and like it was gonna work great. And the design process, we were all pretty compromising on our ideas, and we did a lot to like work with each other.
It felt like a real collaboration in that the Natural History Institute staff and faculty came up with a list of species that they wanted us to represent, and then the students in the class were the ones who really came up with the design themselves and thought about the relationship amongst all those species, as well as the bigger sort of concept behind what that represented.
So my collaboration on this particular event was limited to participation in the Public Art Committee. We have a committee that comes together to make sure that various constituent groups have a chance to provide feedback on any major new public art installation. And certainly, a mural on the side of one of our buildings is a new and major public art for Prescott College. So it was. I was part of that committee, and I had a chance to meet with students and the faculty who were involved with the project. They gave a presentation to the committee about their intention and their process and what they were learning. And then the committee had a chance to provide feedback. And I think that was a really productive process because the feedback from the committee actually helped to improve in some small ways the final product. More importantly, having a public art committee like that it's a learning opportunity for the students and the faculty and for the larger community, and that's what Prescott College is all about, is being a learning community. So I think it was a real successful collaboration.
We put it onto transparencies, and then we put the transparencies on the projector and put the projector on top of like a 10-foot ladder. It was very wobbly and precarious.
As for the people working on it, I think for some people it's a class they have to take for their degree. For others, it's an experience. It's a time to come and learn and paint, even if they've never held a brush before.
I had the opportunity to work alongside and participate in the process of the mural class with the Natural History Institute mural. This mural, to me, signifies the interdisciplinary nature of Prescott College, really identifying and isolating the mission of Prescott College through a collaborative process between visual arts and the Natural History Institute. Watching the production of this mural has been really outstanding. The collaboration between the Natural History Institute with their charge to the students, and then how the students have incorporated those goals from the Institute into their aesthetic and into their creative process has been really fun to watch and really rewarding.
Here's a dark green, right? It's still green, it's still within the greens, but it's a little more in the browns, darker. So that's my darkest dark for this area. So I'm gonna come down here and I'll say, okay, there's a whole, I'm just still gonna look at shapes, and I'm gonna block in this shape that's that dark color. And I would probably, no I would, not probably, I definitely would, with confidence, now that I have this color in my hand, I'm gonna mix up more of it, and I'm gonna block in every place I see this dark green value.
When we got to the actual painting process, I realized that I don't think I really like collaborative art at all.
Definitely been a learning experience, and it's been fun. But also it's really cool to be doing something for the Natural History Institute that makes it feel a little bit more real and like it has an actual purpose.
Working with a small group of people, but people who have a lot of different artistic styles, and seeing that all go on the same wall. Julie was really good about that, and she instructed us to move around the mural so that we would be working on different parts of the wall, so that our styles would meld together and that no style would really stand out, or that it would be really clear that there is one style in one area.
During collaboration process, things get worked over and redone, and sometimes people feel like their vision isn't showing or their hand isn't showing the work. And I'm hoping with this one, everyone feels like they are represented within the piece.
And as we got going on the design, I think the collaboration came a little better. And then it happened again when we went to start painting. Again, different artistic styles were stop, go. And then we started coming together on a consensus of what the final colors, shapes should be.
I was scared to say anything because I don't have the experience, but it was kind of a struggle for me to just sit there and be part of the process. But eventually, after like 4 hours, we all came to this consensus about what we wanted, and everyone was able to listen to each other, and it was nice.
How does that work with the scale? Is that still okay? Well, it just wouldn't look like it's shooting out of the top of the... That's funny to think of it that way. Yeah. So I'm not suggesting we change the scale because it was already either too big or too much or something else. Okay. But
I'm a beginner painter, and a lot of my classmates have a lot of experience, so it's been fun learning from them about light and about painting what you see versus what you imagine something is supposed to look like.
I've learned about working with people. This is, the largest group of people I've ever collaborated on an art project with.
But is also very unique and special to Lisa and Tom over at the Natural History Institute, who just had so much input into it, and it's just kind of been like a full 360 community thing that we created.